survive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So now they have to contend with second and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Jets are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
A good push there from that offensive line as Sanders able to take that forward for a gain of about 6 on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now second and 4. To throw is Wilson. Well, that's complete to Sanders. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. The Jets are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And once again, this is Sanders. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And this one too low.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
To throw again is Wilson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Now the Jets will call on the field goal unit here. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their opening drive, that ended with the interception. Fortunate, though, it didn't lead to points.
It didn't lead to points, and because they kind of...
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in a long-distance situation. You might come back again, because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And going deep for Hill. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Jets. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jets take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And it makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Still in the first quarter, but what a great start for them. I mean, they've controlled the airways, Charles, on both sides. They had the passing touchdown, then they intercept the pass of the other squad and take it back for another score.
And I know we have a ton of time left, but what an early backbreaker they just delivered. They're up early, and they appear to be totally dialed in. And that offense, they're forced to run right back out, still shaking up a bit, but feeling the pressure to put something on the scoreboard. They've got to be careful here.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
Like Sonny thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and now they'll send him back to the drawing board.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
They made a nice effort to stick it with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
In search of 8 yards on third down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Jackson. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now is not the time to panic. All is well. Somewhat calm. Only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape. Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Now Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
So that now back-to-back drive, CD, that have ended with an interception.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'd call my quarterback over, put an arm around him, and say, hey, take a look at the scoreboard. We're playing with a lead. Let's be smarter about what we're doing out there.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And they work this out past the 25. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Jets are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have got his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Wilson. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okuegbunam. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Now Wilson on first down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Yeah, he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Wilson smart to take off and run with it as he's able to pick up the first.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm. But he was more than happy to dissect it with his legs for that first down pickup.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Wilson. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up.
And this is going to be caught by Smith for a Jet touchdown. Devontae Smith in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jets will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is up to 18 now. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. This one fielded at the 5. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
To throw again on second down. Wilson, and going deep for Hill. And intercepted. Wilson's third of the game. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. And pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Dobbins hit and he fumbles. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 8 now. Now it's Jackson.
Open man is Duvernay.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. Jackson on 1st down.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets will take over possession here up at the 44.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run here with Sanders. And a loose football. And the Ravens have got it. Anything to make of this or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week and now a 3rd.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight, all the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability to move the ball forward.
He's got a man complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
You'd think defenses might be a little more prepared for plays like this because so many offensive coordinators, when they get the ball after a turnover, they do like to dial up a deep ball right away. And if I were a defensive coordinator in this league, that's exactly what I would say to my defense before they run out to play. In this case, though, they didn't get the message, and a big play resulted.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off. But a nice game there for a 1st down.
It's 2nd and goal. Back to the 8-yard line now. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Second down and goal. Jackson. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week.
They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Tucker's kick is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15.
Well, certainly happy they were able to force the fumble, Charles, but wish they would have gotten in the end zone, only getting 3 points there and still facing this second half deficit.
And they also will understand it's going to be a whole lot tougher to force another turnover the rest of the game, because that offense, they're going to be all about ball security from here on out.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Then he will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the third quarter. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Sanders again, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Miles Sanders, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jets look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. This one fielded at the 5. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Jackson to Bateman there for the Baltimore first. Jackson. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And they're going to get this up to midfield. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 29-yard line. Now Jackson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built on the efforts of this defense.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
He's got a man complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Yeah, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete there to Smith. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 21. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another 1st.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
This is Smith with a grab. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They go right back to him for 20 and a 1st. Sanders. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. Now the Jets will call on a field goal unit here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to end.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return. And the Ravens are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. He's got it, and that'll make the score 31-13. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
The offense on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Jackson. And he's got it. Got his man on the end round. Complete.
Down inside the 10.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Here's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Wilson wants to throw it. He's got this almost to the 40 before going in. Opted to run for it. The decision, a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Now Wilson on 1st down. And going deep for Hill. And he's got it inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Tyreek Hill with career touchdown number 109. That ties him with Barry Sanders on the all-time NFL list. And the Jets have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson now. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks.
Oh, he's been fun to watch in this when he's made the correct reads all game long and helped stake his team a huge lead. Running, passing, he's made all the right decisions. But that wasn't the right read on that one. It falls incomplete.
Oh, Wilson going to throw.
That one complete down the field to Smith.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
Eight. The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour. and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception, and we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for the Jets, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.